as an academic, when you talk about understanding the problem, and we fail to look at the trajectory of the problem that we have, stating the problem, then obviously you are committing a research, suicidal research, suicide, when you refuse to identify problems, state problems, obviously, and then with a view to gathering data to find a lasting solution to the identified problems. But be that as it may, because a lot had been said that generated a lot of people saying one thing or the other. But I want to start by saying that the problem that we have in Rivers State today is not different from what has played out as we began this session today. And that problem has continued unabated. But I leave a lot of us sitting down here with some questions, assuming without conceding that you are called home after this ceremony. And before you are called home, and then you are asked, these crises that we have had over time, who are they benefiting? Are they benefiting yourself sitting here, or your children, my children? And then whatever answers you give to those, that kind of question remains with you. But for me, as an academic, one, two, as a major stakeholder in this state, and as an advocate for good governance, we have already identified where the problems are coming. And of course, somebody has said, between the substructure and the superstructure. I like what the first speaker spoke. He's a lawyer and a political scientist, I understand. Tamuno. And he tried to dissect the problem from his own perspective. As an academic, I love that. My own brother and friend I call Master, Ikenga, also came here, talked about the relationship between substructure and superstructure. These are political scientists. Of course, I know that even when the politicians are in power, they relegate political scientists to the background. And where we are talking about solutions, nobody mentions about them. But I want to say, because the tone is coming down for peace, but I want to disagree, and I want to say it, and I want to be placed on record. When the suspended governor said that he wears the shoes and he knows where it's pinching him, I'm saying that the shoes he wears are the shoes of Rivers people. And because sovereignty belongs to you and I seated here, including those who are not here. And so he says again that he knows his problem. The problem is not his, but ours. I understand that, yes, he is the driver. And he understands where something has gone wrong because it's the issue of the father and the son. But because it has moved away from father and son, because he is the custodian of the politics of Rivers State and governance, there is no longer father and son matter. It is our matter. And because it is our matter, we all can sit down here and tell the major gladiators the truth, that Rivers resources belong to you and I. As I speak here, I do not know the fate of my children, including those who are on this side or on the other side. Yeah, I may be sure as a professor that I earn something, or if I throw in the towel today and I say I want to bow from the academics, probably I take voluntary exit and take retirement. How about my children? How about your children? What is their faith? Today, we sit in a state where someone else was called in to administer the state. Let me tell you, I may not have supported the state of emergency, but why would I support it later on? Because if the state were allowed to run the way it was running between the governor and the state House of Assembly, would have all been running in the state. So, but that does not suggest that ordinarily that the state of emergency that was, declared in Rivers State was lawful. Two, it may not have been lawful, but what are the political gains or economic gains that this has brought to us? In the long run, or in the short run, in the long run, it may have brought what I called graveyard peace, but not with progress, unfortunately. Even those who are on this side or on the other side, I want to ask us questions as I wrap up today. Nobody can say that the FCT minister did not work so hard to sell the man, the governor, today. He did so much, and I give it to him. As much as he did, the son ought to also work in tandem with whatever agreement, but not considering the interest of the generality of Rivers people. So, as much as we want to encourage him, because the tune is coming down to say, make peace with your father. But that peace, if it jeopardizes my own peace and progress and the peace of my children, then it's a graveyard peace. Thank you.